In this video, we're going to continue to talk about Pixlr, and we're gonna use some template just to get started and to familiarize a little bit with this web app. So in the previous video, we saw how we can basically start and create some empty document or using an image or creating a new one. And also we did an introduction on the interface and the main tools and panels. So in this video, we're going to explore a little bit the templates. So let's click here directly to the templates, or we can also go here in the home page and scroll down and use one of these. You can check the recommended, which are various from various social network, or you can click here and you can see here Instagram post, Instagram story, YouTube thumb, YouTube art, Facebook, Twitter, and also if you want to do here a flyer or some business card and so on. So you get all the various templates here, and also here the last one, it's a collection of layouts which are totally empty, so you can get one of these and drag and drop images inside. But before we do things which are a little bit complex, more complex, let's get started with something real simple. And this is the path that we are gonna follow in this series of videos. So we're gonna start with really simple things and then get to some more complex things. But I think you won't find anything so complex here in Pixlr because it's really easy to use. So I'm just gonna get one template here from Instagram just to make an example, and you can get the one that you like the most. So I'm gonna use this one here. I'm gonna click there and click on use this template. So what it will do, it will open up this template, and you can already see that it's not a simple image, but it's a composition. So you have text, you have vector graphics or shapes, you have images which are raster images, and a background there. So it's a combination of different elements. This is not a simple image, just as we did in the previous video. And so you can always start with a template because templates are there for you to help you to start not from zero, but you can take this image for example and change it with something else, or you can change the background with something else, and so on. So before we actually get into more action, I want to show you here the layers panel. This is probably the most important because it will let you manage all the different graphic assets in your layout. So you can see here that if we click, we can select the element either from the layers panel or by directly selecting it inside the composition or the canvas. Now sometimes you cannot select them because they are locked. So this is another thing you can do with layers. So the first thing is to select. The second thing is that you can also hide and show. So you can turn something into a hidden layer, or you can show it up. You can also lock and unlock. So, and here, when you have this like little thunderbolt, it's gonna show you that this is something more complex. Basically, it's a vector, and in this case, it's also an animation. So you need to understand how to identify different assets. So when you see a text, you can see down there you have the text indication in the layer. This one here is a shape, so it's vector graphics basically. This is also a shape and it's locked, so if I unlock it, now I can select it. And let's say that I don't want it there, but I want it up here. I can click and drag and start to organize and to change the position of things. So other things you can do with layers is to define what element it's one. For example, this one here, which is the image. Well, this is not a simple image, but it's an image inserted into a frame. So a frame, it's another different object, which gonna help you to cut out the part of the image that you don't need. But again, we're gonna go into deep with all of this stuff later. I'm just gonna talk about how everything is organized here, and you can learn from templates to create and organize and manage your document as well. So here's the background. So also another important thing about layers is that they have kind of arrangement. So when I have something down here at the bottom, it means that it goes back, all the way back. So it's a background actually. But if I click and drag it with the left mouse, I'm bringing this background higher and higher here in the arrangement. So this means that I'm bringing this to the front. And if I have something that is going to cover everything into the front, I'm not going to be able to see anything. So I need to understand that layers, yes, they are useful for organization and management of your file, but also they have a, let's say, visualization hierarchy or order or priority. So everything that goes here on the top of the list is going to be also on top of the paper, and everything else is going to be down below those first elements, and then deeper and deeper. So I think you get the idea. So once you understand the structure and the hierarchy, you can start to customize it. You can make it your own. For example, I can double click there, and by double clicking, I'm gonna edit this text. I'm gonna type Pixlr E, and I think this is too small, so I want to increase the size. Now I can do this in a couple of ways. Now the first thing is to use this transform box or transform gizmo. So if I click on this little bar below, I can click and drag and it's gonna scale it. So this is kind of a scaling command. And if I get here in the other edges, in the sides, well, this is gonna actually resize the frame or the box, the text box. So it's not gonna affect the text itself, it's just gonna affect the frame or the text box. And this handle on the top, if I click there, I can rotate it. Now again, this is transformation. Rotate, scale, and move, rotate, and scale, and you will find those transformations anywhere in any software. So I'm gonna make it this a little bit bigger. Okay, and then let's see another way we can affect or edit the text. Now each time you spot a particular asset, so for example this is a text, now to edit that I can use that text box, but the other way is to go here in the tools and find that particular command which is related to that particular object or element. So in this case I need to click on text command right there, or text tool. Now I can edit the text. I can double click again inside to get inside the text box, underline the part that I want to edit, and then for example I want to change here the color of this, maybe into something red. Okay, and maybe I can also change the font, and well, you can see that there are many fonts and also others are in the premium version. So you always have this distinction between the standard version and the premium version. So this is another way we can edit the text. We can also increase the size from here. So this is another way we can affect the scaling of the text. So once you understand what you are working with in the layers panel, then you can also select the correct tool here in the left. Now I want to do another example. It's telling me to add a text because right now I am in the text command. So to get back to the original standard setting, I will click here on the select option or select command. Okay, now I want to do another thing here. I want to change this picture because I want to well, I don't like it. Let's say that I don't like it, but also I will show you something more. So instead of changing that picture there, I want to create a duplicate of that. Now here in the layers, if you want to delete a layer, you can click on this little trash bin here, You can click here to duplicate, or you can click on the plus to create a new layer, which could be text, shape, so vector graphics, frame, or image, so raster images with pixels, or empty without anything. But we're gonna see those later. Just gonna duplicate this first. Okay, now let's say that I'm talking with my client, or I'm just discussing with a friend which one is the best look. Now I can create more layers and then compare one solution with another. For example, if I right click here on this layer, so right click, I'm gonna say image A. I'm gonna rename this image A, and this is all I'm gonna do here right now. And in the previous one here, right click and say image B. So what I can do with layers, this is another function, is that I can create like options. I can activate and deactivate and create many different variants or options of the same layout, of the same graphic design. So let's change here the image A with another. Now remember to see what we are working with. So we are working with a frame. So I will go here in the toolbar and look for the frame tool, which is this one here. Click on that frame tool, and now I have the options for that. And in this case, I will go to set image, and I will upload an image that I have. So let's say that I want this one, and say open. And there you go. So the frame stays the same. The image is cropped with the exact measure. This is why the frame object is used. And we just now have two options. We have option A, option B. Which one do I like the most? I don't really know. So I can save, for example, a first file and call it, let's save it JPEG. Well, not MP4, we just want an image. So I'm gonna go to image and save as. Let's call this, well, let's leave it as it is and say A and save. Close the odds here. And then let's do option B. So let's go to File, Save, Image, JPEG, Save As, and it's gonna be the B option. So this is another handy feature when you are using layers. So again, you can use to manage, you can use to turn off and on layers, you can use them to arrange everything and to organize it, you can use them to create different options. And so this is probably the most important panel that you will find here in Pixlr and also in other software like Photoshop or Illustrator. So this will be all for this lesson. I hope you enjoyed. If you want, you can leave your comments, which could be questions and suggestions. Please support the channel by subscribing or by joining. Thank you for watching. See you in the next.